They said, listen, when you're working on your dissertation, don't look at it as a requirement for your degree. View it as your first book. In other words, don't write it in a field that only 2 people in the Western world are going to read. And so I was studying wealth and poverty among underdeveloped African countries. That was my thrust.
Wow.
When I finished, I flipped the script simply because of what they shared with me. I said, well, I don't want to study wealth and poverty. I just want to study wealth. Number 2, I don't want to study underdeveloped countries. I want to study wealthy individuals. And that has been my thrust, my entire academic career.
Yeah, so and that's interesting that you mentioned that because there's always these conversations about, you know, what's genetic. You know, people genetically are born leaders, and these questions. What would you say first and foremost? Let me open with that, to the conversation about being a born leader, or can one create?
No, there's no DNA, there's no connective tissue. It's not your parents, it's not your education. Probably, and this is coming out of my 3rd book, What Makes the Great Great. It's going to be my first book. That was the book that I was working on when the Napoleon Hill Foundation told me to push it aside and finish Napoleon Hill. But I've studied individuals, I mean, everybody from Steve Harvey to Tyler Perry and Condoleezza Rice and, you know, I mean, 3 of Black America's 6 billionaires and in between. You know, it's not your contacts, it's not your parents, it's not where you were born, it's not, you know, your education. You know, it's basically choice. And when you look at that choice, it's choosing what you know, what you want to do with your life and adding value, living better than what you found it, and passion is the key word. If you're looking for that secret sauce, that secret DNA, it's got to be passion. As a matter of fact, the committed, passionate mind cannot be defeated. So, you know, I ask my students all the time, sooner or later, you've got to find your area of excellence. What is it that you love to do? What do you have a passion for? What can you throw your whole heart and soul into? So in 2 weeks, I'll meet my students for the first time, and I'll say, yeah, I'm glad you're a business major, and I'm glad you're accounting concentration, or your marketing, or your supply chain, or whatever, but I could really care less. My only concern is, do you want to be great, and how are you going to add value? How are you going to be complimentary? In other words, you know, how are you going to leave it better than what you found it? If that's the one key, that is the one attribute that you're looking for, that is really the secret to the kingdom. You know, your passion. I found 4 common chords in all the men and women that I've interviewed, Brother Haki. Number 1, they dream big dreams.
Dream big dreams.
They had a dream, passion, something that they desperately wanted to accomplish in life. Point number 2, they were inner directed versus outer directed. In other words, they weren't so quick to believe friends and family members who said, you can't do this, you can't do that. They walked to a beat of a different drum. Number 3, they dedicated themselves to lifelong learning. I mean, when you go ahead and you read the Wealth Choice, this was a 7-year study on Black millionaires. And I had 6 focus groups around the country. I'll never forget a focus group that I had in Atlanta. And here I am in Atlanta, a bunch of millionaires, Black millionaires in the room. And I said, okay, so how did you guys do? You know, what made you different, blah, blah, blah. And one of them said to me, all I did was I decided I'm going to outread the other guy. You come into my classroom, and I got a sign on my wall that reads, if you don't read, if you don't study, if you don't grow, if you don't develop, if you don't go to the conferences, if you don't go to the seminars, if you don't go to the workshops, if you don't ask questions, if you don't take good notes, somebody out in the universe will. And the day that you meet that other person, you lose. Because every time you take in information, what are you doing? You're narrowing your zone of ignorance. Now, you know, I'm glad that you're in college. Again, I tell my students, well, that's your formal education. A formal education is nice, but an informal education will make you rich. And that's the bottom line. And then last but not least, these men and women flat out refuse to fail.
Refuse to fail.
Now, I'm not saying they didn't fail.
Right.
Here I am with Tyler Perry. I said, Tyler, how in the world would you go from sleeping in your car in New Orleans, sleeping in your car in Atlanta, Georgia, building a $145 billion production studio?
Wow.
What did he say to me? Nothing but the grace of God.
Yeah, yes.
I spent 2 days with Kathy Hughes, one of your 6 black billionaires. She bought her first radio station in Washington, D.C. For 1 year. She slept on the floor of that radio station.
Right, right.
And that restroom down at the end of the corridor was a bathroom. Imagine that. The restroom at the end of the corridor in that building of the radio station, that was the bathroom that she and her son bathed in.
Wow, yes.
So, you know, and I asked her, I said, come on, girl. I mean, you got scar tissue, man. I mean, you have really tasted the recesses of life. How in the world would you build this, you know, this radio and media empire? And she said, nothing but the grace of God. It all goes back to the passionate, committed mind. If the passionate, committed mind could be defeated, there would be no Bill Gates.
Wow.
There would be no Steve Jobs. There would be no Martin Luther King.
Right.
There would be no Oprah Winfrey. And I have no problem telling your listeners, telling those folks online, whatever, both Steve Jobs and Martin Luther King used the same marketing campaign to reach their goals. They used the exact same marketing campaign. What is that marketing campaign? Number 1, tell me where you are. Number 2, tell me where you can be. Number 3, make it that way. So Martin Luther King, tell me where you are. Yes. Well, this country wrote a check to the black man that came back insufficient funds. Steve Jobs, tell me where you are. Well, I know that everybody's got 50 million gadgets on their hips. You got a pager, you got a beeper, you got a little contraption so you can download your music, you got a scheduler, and need I suggest you got a cell phone. Okay. All right. Tell me where we can be, Martin Luther King. Well, I had a dream that my 4 children would be judged by the color of the skin. They might be judged by the content of the character. All right, Steve Jobs, tell me where we can be. You know, I called all my designers and engineers into my office and I said, wouldn't it be good if we could take all these contraptions and put them into one device? Number 3, make it that way. Okay, Martin, make it that way. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. We're free at last. Okay, Steve Jobs, make it that way. April 2007, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the iPhone. I mean, that's the key to the kingdom. Everything happens to you twice in life. The inner, the outer, the thought, the thing, mental, then the physical. As a matter of fact, what does the Bible say? The first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Yes.
What the hell does that mean? Well, we live in a society that we are inundated with the visual. We are inundated with the outer. It's all about the dress. It's all about the drive. It's all about where we live. It's all about our degrees and titles and all that nonsense. And what did Martin Luther King tell you before he died? He said, baby, your life is officially over. When you begin to think about, talk about, discuss everything that doesn't matter. And what in the world was he talking about? He was saying, forget the physical, go to the middle.
Yes, yes.
Go to the middle. Harriet Tubman said the same thing. In her waning years, a journalist comes up to her and says, you know, I'd like to interview this stuff. And he said, she waved him off, said, no, you don't have to interview me. He said, well, you got so many accomplishments in your life. And she said, yeah, I know I led 860 slaves to freedom. I know that.
Right.
But I could have led thousands more had they only known they were slaves.
Yes.
Had they only known that they were slaves.
Right.
So, I mean, come on, man. What are you focusing in?
Indeed. Yes. Yes. Focus.
I mean, that is powerful.
Right, right, right.
So that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
And that's really, I guess, when you look at, you know, Think and Grow Rich or Black Choice or What Makes a Great Trade or, you know, the Wealth Choice, it all comes down to those keys.
Wow, wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, let me ask you this. Last time when you were here, shout out to Brother Emmerich. And, well, you may have come a little after that, but Emmerich Peace, that's where I saw you once. And then you were at the church in D.C. as well as the church in Baltimore. So I went to both of those events. We had a conversation about the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And I mentioned Houghton Bucks, someone that I have been training under over the years. And I asked you, did you get a chance to interview him or?
Well, we are all connected by a thin thread.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One thin thread.
Right.
That just changed my life. Here I am, spent every dime that I had working on a book entitled "What Makes a Great Click."
Mm-hmm.
And Success Magazine caught wind of what I was doing.
Yeah.
I went to New York and I met the editor at the time, Scott DeVoe.
Okay.
And Brother Haki, to show you how naive I was at the time, this was the early 80s, early to mid 1980s. And I had my manuscript under because there were no success books aimed at African Americans. I carved out a list of 50 African Americans, peak performing men and women I was going to interview. After I got through with those 50, then I had another 50 and quit counting at 150 interviews, this, that, the other.
Wow.
And
Yes.
I had the manuscript under my arm, and Success Magazine was just blown away. They said, oh my goodness. Well, they wanted me to write a series of articles. And to say that I was naive, I said to Scott Palmer at the time, here's my manuscript, just take whatever you want. And he said, no, Dennis, we like your writing. Go ahead and write the articles for us. Well, I wrote a couple of articles, and lo and behold, Brother Haki, one of the articles made it to the desk of W. Clement Stone.
Ah, right. Okay.
Now,
yes.
W. Clement Stone, for your listeners, if you this podcast or whatever, he was not only the president of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, but he was personal manager and confidant of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was by far America's most prolific self-help writer.
Yes, yes, yes.
He was an individual born in poverty, Wise County, Virginia. And over the course of his adult life, he carved out a remarkable writing career. He wrote 16 books in his lifetime. And you can go in a bookstore right now and you can purchase 8 of his 16 books. Well, his first book, Law of Success, written at the behest of Andrew Carnegie, but his all-time classic bestseller, was Thinking Grow Rich. She wrote that book while he was a speechwriter and on staff with FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the 1930s. Well, lo and behold, only a few people knew it, but at the time of his death, Napoleon Hill was attempting to write a black version. Why he decided to do this, I can only guess, but I've been told that he wanted to share the keys to the kingdom with every segment, every audience. He was into diversity long before he was into multicultural, long before the terms even hit the airwaves. Well, he had written 100 pages of a black version of Think and Grow Rich. He was 87 years old. In 1970, he died of a stroke. And W. Clement Stone held on to those, 100 pages for 16 years. He saw my article in Success Magazine.
Yes.
At the end of the article, had Dennis Kimbro, author, forthcoming book, Blacks Are Growing Rich. That's what I had, Blacks Are Growing Rich. I didn't even have the title of it. And he called me up. I just got back from New York. I interviewed Earl Graves, publisher of Black Enterprise Magazine. And back then we had answering machines. I see that the light on my answering machine, and I hit it. And W. Clement Stone, young man, I heard about you. When you come to Chicago, I'd like to meet you. And that was the end. The next day I returned the call. Less than 2 weeks later, me and my wife scrounge out the money for a plane ticket, rent a car, drive to his office. This is November 4th, 1986. She waited in the car for about 2 hours while I was in his office. And he took out, reached across his credenza, and took out the last 100 pages and dropped it on my lap. And he said, young man, I got a proposition for you. I said, what's that? He said, we want you to finish and complete the project. And I said, what project? He said, what's in your lap? And I just flung through it, and I just saw it was just like an old-fashioned. As a matter of fact, I'm in my study right now in Atlanta, Georgia. You come to my study, and I can show you the last 100 pages off this old Hamilton typewriter. And He didn't have chapter headings. Brother Haki, he only had 3 interviews in there, none of which I could do because they were dated and whatever. And my original response was, no, thank you very much. You're more than gracious, but I can't do that. He said, why not? And I said, I'm working on a book of my own. And his response was, if you have any sense, you'll push your book aside and finish it.
Okay.
Well, went back, told my wife what was going on, and she said, well, did you tell them that you're working on a book? I said, yes, they didn't want to hear it. And so I acquiesced. I said, okay. Well, almost 3 months went by that I didn't do anything. And I was continuing to work on what makes it great, great. And my wife says, what are you going to do about that other book? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, you need to tell them something. So I sat down and I wrote 90 pages, put it in an envelope, overnighted, sent it to the Napoleon Hill Foundation by Haki. They read it, they threw it in the trash.
Wow.
I said, no problem. I'm a big boy, I can take it. This time, I wrote 125 pages.
Okay.
Overnighted, put it in an envelope. They read it, they threw that in the trash.
Wow.
Then I got a phone call from the executive director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. He said something. He says, Dennis, he says, we received your writings. And you're an excellent writer. Like I tell you, you really like your writing style. But before you go any further, do us a big favor. And I said, sure, no problem. What do you want me to do? And they said, we want you to take your PhD. We want you to take your doctorate. Put it on a shelf. You won't need it for this assignment. I said, what do you mean? He said, we want you to write this book as if you're writing a letter to a friend. Brother Haki, that changed my writing style for him.
Wow.
Because I would never write, Brother Haki was a slave. I would never write that.
Yeah.
What I would write, I would say, Brother Haki, here's a black man whose entire life was spent at the end of a chain. Now, which one do you remember and which one do you feel?
Right. Yes.
See, I would never write, Brother Haki had a tough time reaching his dreams. I would never write that. What I would write, Brother Haki, here's a black man who climbed the back stairs to success. Which one would you remember?
Right. Yes.
So I went back, changed everything in all my books, and the rest is history.
Wow. Yes. That's beautiful. Well, Dr. Kimbro, I was listening to the interview you did with someone in this area, Dr. Willie Jolly, who's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love Brother Jolly. Willie, my man.
Yes, he's doing some amazing things. And he mentioned you all got into a conversation about W.E.B. Du Bois. And I was, and it was something that I was not aware of. If you can recall that, I think it was something to the effect, well, he compared your work to W.E.B., Dr. Du Bois. Though, could you elaborate in terms of, because I think you mentioned a book that maybe a lot of people have not read.
Yeah. And I tell them, listen, I have no pride of authorship.
Yes.
I mean, I'm blessed that my books sell as well as they do, and the Wealth Choice is doing extremely well.
Yes,
people have gravitated to that book and scooped it up, but I'm a Johnny-come-lately. What do I mean by that?
Right.
You're the most prolific scholar in 1897.
Yes.
Du Bois.
Yes.
You wrote a book called The Negro in Business.
Okay.
And this is why I'm blessed to teach at Cardinal Atlantic University.
Yes.
Because Du Bois taught at the same school before it was consolidated. It was the Lane University.
Wow.
He was a man who taught sociology. He taught civics. He taught history. He even taught Greek. He taught economics. And Brother Haki, 3 years that he was on the faculty of the Lane University, he was university chaplain. So in 1897, during the summer months, he took the train up and down the eastern seaboard from, Atlanta, Georgia, up to Philadelphia in New York, interviewing black business people, trying to find the traits, the keys, the attributes for economic success. And it was called The Negro in Business.
Right.
And as a race, again, he's your prolific scholar. As a race, we took his book and didn't even open up the pages. Because he has 2 profound statements in that book within the first 30 pages. That if we read it, it smacks us in the mouth today.
Wow.
Number one, the man or woman who won't control her finances won't control anything else. That's us.
Wow.
That is us. And when he says won't control anything else, he's talking about quality of life. He's not just talking about economics. In other words, if you don't care about the money in your pocket, what do you care about black on black crime?
Right.
Which is off the chain in our community.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
If you don't care about the money in your pocket, what do you care about the lack thereof of black male high school graduation rate?
Yeah.
It's off the chain.
Yes.
If you don't care about the money in your pocket, what do you care about female-dominated households? Which is beyond the charts in the black community. So he was talking about quality of life.
Right.
And then number two, Brother Haki, he said nothing positive will ever occur in a community that fails to circulate its dollars.
Yes.
Look, damn it. He said this in 1897.
Yes.
Why are you still struggling with this 120 years later? Why are you still trying to connect the dots 120 years later? Read the email. Come on, man. Read the text message. Read the book.
Right. Yes, sir.
And we still struggle with it.
Indeed.
Wow. Black America is not poor. We're just broke. You got, what, 177 countries that belong to the UN?
Right.
And in terms of wealth, you're number 16. You know what your buying, your buying power is? 1.3 trillion.
Right, right.
The U.S. economy is only 17 trillion.
Wow.
1.3 trillion. You're a little bit less than a third of the size of China. China's 7 trillion. You're 1.3.
Wow. Wow. Good comparison.
Your GDP is larger than Nigeria. Nigeria has an airline.
Wow.
Nigeria has a rail system. Where's yours? Where's yours? Where's your airline? Nigeria has an entire manufacturing sector. Where's yours?
Wow. Yes, that's some interesting
conversation.
conversation.
What are you going to do when you give your money away? And then you complain after you give it away.
Yeah. Yes.
You're complaining after you give it away.
Right. Right.
And no other group does that. No other group that does that.
Wow.
When you go to Census Bureau, between Census Bureau, the Gallup organization, and Nielsen, they collect data on everything. Those three, as a matter of fact, in terms of data collection and demographics, Nielsen is number 1, Gallup 2, Census 3. And they all say the same thing. The average dollar stays in the Arab community 45 days before leaving. The average dollar stays in the Asian community 30 days before leaving.
Yes.
The average dollar stays in the Jewish community 19 days before leaving. The average dollar stays in the black community 6 hours before leaving.
Yes. Yes, sir. Right. Well, my next question. I asked last time, and I have a copy of Dr. Reginald F. Lewis' book here. Yep. And it's been reprinted.
I was given the chance to interview him. His director of communication, a gentleman by the name of Butch Smiley. He set the interview up for me. Reg Lewis was a Francophile. He spent most of his time in France and in Western Europe.
Oh, wow.
Set the interview up for me. He said, listen, as soon as Reg comes back to the States, I'll set the interview up, and you can have at it and ask him any question that you want. Well, as soon as he got back to the United States, he had a physical. It was discovered he was in the final stages of brain cancer.
Wow.
But when the book was finished, again, come to my study and I'll show it to you. When the book was finished, his lovely wife, Louisa, gave me a book with a beautiful dedication on the insert. Dr. Kimbro, Reg, will launch that, blah, blah, blah. Just beautiful. I mean, I've been impacted by the absolute best. And I can say, okay, Think and Grow Rich, the day that I was born, 1950, Brother Haki, there were 100,000 millionaires.
100,000.
Only 5 were black.
Wow.
I interviewed 4 out of the 5, told this story, Think and Grow Rich.
Wow.
Today, now they're forecasting in 3 years, Census Bureau is forecasting that there will be 20 million millionaires in the United States.
20 million.
Now, right now, you got 35,000 black millionaires in the United States. I know over a 7-year period, I rubbed shoulders with minimum 1,000.
Wow.
So I've been around the best. So when I tell people, oh man, I read your book, it was a great book. I say, yeah, it is a great book. Oh, I read the Wealth Choice, that book was fantastic. And I can say, it is a fantastic book. Not because of my personal aggrandizement, not because I was narcissistic or patting myself on the back. All I did was sit in the corner with your best and brightest, and I took notes with both hands. That's all I ever did.
Right.
And when I say sat in the corner, I mean sat in the corner. Just sat in the corner. I don't care whether it's Steve Harvey, spent 2 hours with him. If it's Buckhead, I don't care. Again, it's 2 days, like I told you, with there's what you call it, the TV one, Kathy Hughes. Spent a day with Kirk Franklin. You're peak performers.
Yes.
Trying to give food for the next generation. And you've heard me say it before, a relay race isn't won or lost.
Right.
On how, if you got the fastest runner.
Yes, sir.
Those folks who have run the relay, there's an exchange zone. You pass that baton before you reach the exchange zone. Or you pass that baton after you leave the exchange zone, you're going to be disqualified.
Right.
Well, as a race right now, Brother Haki, we're in exchange zone.
Yes.
And you better make sure that baton gets passed.
Right.
And I'm not so sure it's getting passed.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm looking at some of the contents in the table of contents, but I've heard you say this a lot, but in the intro, it has a wealth of knowledge, and you always say that knowledge, the most powerful economic weapon, the first law of wealth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, prosperity begins in the mind, but ends in the purse.
Yes, sir.
That you're not going to develop wealth until you develop a wealth consciousness. It's the same thing with Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill came with 17 surefire antecedents for success.
Yes.
Number 1, definite sense of purpose. Number 2, mastermind. Number 3, apply faith. Number 4, going the extra mile.
Yes.
But he tells you the only reason why he came up with 5 through 17 is to get you to use the first 4. Because the first 4 deal with knowledge. Deals with mindset. It deals with changing your belief system. And it's all about your beliefs.
Yes.
Number 1, you got to change your should do's into must do's.
Should do's into must do's.
Change your should do into must do's.
Right. Should do into must do's.
Number 2, get around the best.
Yes.
Go to the best seminars, get the best mentors, get the best advisors, read the best books. Go to the best school, blah, blah, blah. And then number 3, you got to recognize you can make money, you can make excuses, but you can't do both.
Right. Yes, sir.
You can't do both. The poor keep score by cars and clothes. The middle class keeps score by degrees and titles. But the wealthy keep score by the bank.
Wow.
So going back to a wealth of knowledge, change your mindset.
Change your mindset, right?
I always use the biblical context whenever Jesus went into a village, whenever he went into a hamlet or whatever, and he would heal the sick, he would heal the depressed, he would heal the impoverished. But the key, the last thing he would say to him was, now go and sin no more.
Right.
Well, sin doesn't mean that while you weren't looking, I took the last cookie out of the cookie jar.
Yes.
Sin doesn't mean that, when my wife turned her back, I went to a person, I took $1. Sin doesn't mean that you did something that needs to be punished. It doesn't mean that.
Right.
It means you got an error that needs to be And the reason why he says, now go and sin no more, because if you don't change your mindset, if you don't change your thinking, if you don't change your belief, system, the next time I come into this village, the next time I come into this town, the next time I come into this hamlet, you're still going to be broke. You're still going to be sick. You're still going to be depressed.
Yes.
So, and it all goes back to knowledge.
Right. Yeah. And I'm looking through this your book again here, and where I knew the value of Think and Grow Rich, Mr. Joe L. Dudley, and you talk about him. And he read Think and Grow Rich 300 times.
Wow.
Yeah. He's phenomenal. But I know you interview him.
Yeah, good brother. Kiss him, tell him I love him, keep doing what he's doing.
Yes.
But you do it 300 times, there are so many levels of belief.
Yes.
It's almost like metaphysical. The one thing, okay, here I am, 7 years, and you could say that I went to Napoleon Hill University. I listened to old recordings of Napoleon Hill speeches. They gave me all of his writings, all of his talks, this, that, and everything. So I was really exposed to the man. And you could see over a 7-year period that he was becoming more and more metaphysical in his thinking.
Wow.
They let me listen to a tape recording that he gave in Chicago in the late 1950s. Now, can you imagine Chicago in the late 1950s? And he's in Chicago. He gave speaking at a conference, gave a workshop. And after his 2-hour presentation, he opened it up for Q&A. There's a woman in the audience who asked him a question. I said, Dr. Hill, these attributes, these traits, qualities, principles that you espouse, they work for anybody. And Hill's retort was, what do you mean anybody? And she said, without regard to race, creed, or color. And Napoleon Hill's response in Chicago in the late 1950s, he says to this woman, let's be crystal clear, there's no such thing as race. Late 1950s Chicago. There's no such thing as race.
Wow.
Again, going back to the Bible, we read Genesis, read the first 30 verses of Genesis. Let us make man, and man means male and female, in our image. So what is our image? I mean, God is spirit. If you're looking for an individual with a head, 2 arms, 2 legs, eyes, you look in the wrong direction. His image is spirit. So what you're in his image, you're completely spiritual.
Right.
You got to close the gap. You got to work out your own salvation. What is salvation? Saving yourself. Saving yourself from what, damn it? Saving yourself from your stupid thinking. That's what you got to save yourself from. Your creator didn't come up with scarcity. The greatest gift your creator's ever given you from the key is the ability to change your mind.
Yes.
To change your mind.
Right.
Now, that might be brotherhood, that might be a little bit of a platitude or whatever, but it's really that simple. Change your mind.
Right.
And I don't care, you look at all the great thinkers. You look at Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King got up at the same hour of the day every day. He got up at 6:15 in the morning, and the first hour of the day, he called the golden hour. Why? It was for prayer and meditation. It was for devotion. He would go into his book line study. There were 200 books in that study. For prayer and devotion. Here I am with Bishop T.D. Jakes about to interview him, and where the hell am I? Well, I'm in the Potter's house, and I'm in his book line study.
Right. Yes.
And I'm looking at every book on God's created earth you would ever want to read, study, or examine in your life.
Wow. Yes.
Well, these are 2 examples. What would work for them? I think it would work. It's all about mindset.
Yes.
That's called the Silicon Valley mindset. Why is Silicon Valley Silicon Valley?
Right.
Because they don't let the best people do the best thinking.
Wow.
Only the sharpest people do their thinking.
Yes.
Now you might say, oh man, Dr. Kimbro, how do you know the sharpest people? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you're the sharpest people. I say to you, if you say to me, brother, hey, Dennis, when you do your best thinking,
yes, sir.
Brother, I'll tell you what I do my best thinking. It's at the end of the day, I come home from class, I hug and kiss my wife, I reach into the refrigerator, I grab a cold beer, I go through my bay doors, I stand out on my deck, in the back of my deck of woods, and I drink my beer, and I'm looking through the woods, and I'm letting my mind run free. That's why I do my best thinking.
Wow.
So if you have a challenge, if you have a so-called problem that you want me to be a part of and solve, then take me on a retreat. Take me out into the woods, give me a cold beer, and let me walk for about an hour. And I can solve that problem for you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's where I do my best thinking.
Sure.
Where do you do yours?
All right. Well, I have my engineer here. He had a question. He heard you say something, so he wanted to chime in. Brother Road Grimes.
Dr. Kimbro.
Yes.
Greetings, my brother.
Good. Could you speak up a little bit louder?
Yeah, I'm going to turn the volume up. Hold on 1 second. Mine isn't coming through as well. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so you can hear me well, much better?
Yeah.
Great. First of all, greetings. I am the station managing engineer here at Eli Media, where Haki is doing this show every week.
Okay.
And I just wanted to let you know something, brother, because the impact that you're having and you've had on folks like me. I was first introduced to you while playing football at Syracuse University.
Wow.
In the early 80s. And I bought your book from our bookstore, one of your books from our bookstore. And during that time you're playing football, you don't have much time to do anything else when you're playing football on Division I level. Your time is consumed. So it was difficult to make time. I couldn't see people like you when you came to campus and gave lectures because our days were programmed, pretty much 24/7 the whole time we're there. But I just want to also let you know that not only me, but when I went back to campus to visit years and years and years after, a number of basketball and football players that I had the privilege of having relationships with, Doctor, also had some of your literature in their dorms. Wow. And in their apartments. So I'll reach out to you as other people have, and I'll continue to do, just to let you know, number one, you have an open invitation to be a part of what we're trying to build in terms of internet community-based radio, because we get to control that signal. As much as I love the commercial stations don't have the window to let a Dennis Kimbro come and talk for an hour. Yeah. Maybe on NPR, maybe on some of the not-for-profits. But because we have this internet-based community radio forum, you can come and you can talk. And not only that, we can Skype you, we can interview, we can do a number of things and connect that presence. But I wanted to let you know as well that us former athletes and some of the current athletes, we realize more and more now, and some of the entertainers that we're connected with realize more and more now that we messed up. I will tell you this, and please, if you have an opportunity to give a response, one of my college roommates was in town, DC, a couple of days ago. And he said he saw something on ESPN 3030 that almost made him break the television. Wow. What happened, brother, was this, and Nikita, this is your first time doing this as well. What happened, Brother Kimbro, is 1982-83, the major television networks and the emerging ESPN cut contracts with major college football and major college basketball. And that began the multi-billion-dollar industry for major college football and basketball because of those TV contracts that were being signed, especially in the early 80s. As a result of that, my roommate told me about the ESPN 3030 documentary where my beloved Jim Boeheim, John Thompson, the Lou Carnesecas, the Raleigh Massimino, on and on, were on television laughing laughing about how they didn't even have to cash the check they received from the college.
Wow.
That because of the television revenue, Nike, Star, Converse, Adidas came to them.
Wow.
And said, we will pay you millions if you put these Negroes in our gear.
Wow.
And let them parade on television because they're going to be seen anyway. We'll cut you a check and put them in our gear and make sure you give them all of our gear. And the thing about it is that the Thompsons, the Bayheims, the Carnesecas, they did not, could not, or would not share one dime of that revenue with the brothers who labored all those years with and for them.
Yeah.
So if we plantation pimp our own, oh, we got Amber Alert?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if we plantation pimp our own, how do we break that cycle?
Right.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful, and it's going to take a lot of chipping away to go ahead and bust that bubble. But it starts with one individual, and if you harm that individual, I mean, you go there and you keep talking it up, and you share that story. This is the most powerful context on the face of the earth. And like I said, it's a passion combined. It's one individual armed with that passionate, committed mind. One is the most powerful number in the universe. I mean, one firm handshake can give you confidence. One book can inspire you. You know, one smile can put a little pep in your step. So keep talking it up and keep sharing the story, man. That's I gotta go ahead and check that out. You said it was on 30/30, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
Oh, great. Well, Dr. Kimbro, Haki again. I just got one more question. Shout out to Brother Bedford, who interviewed you with his conversation of Black millionaires, and you know, he encouraged me to reach out to you as well. But Sir Charles Curry, he had a question that I thought was very relevant, and I want to ask you that. In terms of finding your niche, how do you know when your niche was right?
Well, it goes back, and you heard me say this before about finding your area of excellence. I mean, it's really not that difficult, but very few people put the time in. You know, three critical questions. Again, what do you love to do? What do you have a passion for? What can you throw your whole heart and soul into?
Yes.
Question number two, what would you do for free? If no one ever gave you compensation for your efforts, for your time, what would you do for free?
Yes.
Henry David Thoreau said, don't die with your music left in you. Well, my students hear my music all the time. As soon as I step in the classroom, I'm playing my music. What does the old rapper say, you know, too short, it's been way too long, time for the whole world to play your song.
Right.
So they're gonna play my song every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
This is what I was born to do. When I was an undergraduate, my fraternity brothers called me the professor. Because I always had a book under my arm. You know, when party time came, they said, where's Kimbro? And he said, lab. You know, we didn't call it study hall back then. We called it lab. In other words, I was in the library.
Wow, yes.
If anybody ever had a question about this or that, they had to ask Kimbro. He's always read blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
That was just a part of my innate inquisition. When I was small, my mother always said, boy, you have too many questions.
Okay.
So, you know, if no one ever paid you a dime, what would you do for free? The last but not least, what is your area of unfair competitive advantage? We all have areas of unfair competitive advantage.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Right.
And we see that during the holidays, you got an aunt, you got a grandmother, they make that special pie, that special cake.
Right.
Someone will say to her, girl, you ever think about owning your own business? You ever think about selling it commercially? And they say, nah, I ain't got time for that. Well, that might have been your area of excellence.
Yes.
We see it all the time. Go to the barber shop and get a haircut. What are we talking about? We talk about sports. And the guy next to you says, man, I remember when I played high school ball, I had an offer small D1. I said, what happened? I declined. I decided not to go to college. that might have been your area of excellence.
Wow.
Remember the key, opportunities are never lost. They're just capitalized by somebody else.
Right, yes. Indeed.
There are two documents that not only my students, but Harvard Business School make sure that their students read. Number one is Steve Jobs' commencement address at Stanford. It's entitled Do What You Love.
Do what you
And
love.
then number two, it's the H.G. Wells classic called Country of the Blind. And we live in Country of the Blind right now.
Yes.
Anybody ever get a dream and you're trying to convince somebody else to see what they can't see?
Right.
3 times in that garden, what did Jesus say to Peter? He said, yes, he said, Peter, do you love me? 3 times he asked me. It doesn't mean now that you actually doesn't love me. No. Do you see what I see? Can you grab the big picture? What is the big picture? You can have, do, or become anything that you wanted to. Anything that you wanted to. I mean, it's not what you're going through. It's what you're going to.
Yes.
I'm going to be interviewed Wednesday by NPR about Black entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And I was asked a question. You know, what is entrepreneurship? Whether it's Black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, highs and lows, ups and downs, man, it's a roller coaster. And brother, people ask me all the time, well, what does roller coaster is? Well, the roller coaster never ends until you get off the roller coaster. Entrepreneurship is gut wrenching. Entrepreneurship is a marathon. Entrepreneurship is built on inconvenience.
Yes.
You know, like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right, right, right.
You know, but it's easier than failing. Why? Because you're doing what you love to do.
Yes.
I didn't choose to be here, and you didn't choose to be here. The bottom line, we were chosen. So when are you going to show up and place your fingerprints on life and prove you were here? When are you going to prove you were here?
Right, right, right. Yes, okay. Now, another question, the preacher, a young entrepreneur from Norfolk State University said, what should one look for in a business partner?
Number one, values. Number one, values. Not only a business partner, I don't care if you're looking for a business partner, looking for a job.
Right.
There are 21 human values. 21. Okay? Number one is achievement. Okay? The last one, 21, is wisdom. You got to look at all 21 and find out what is most important to you and what is a human value that you refuse to compromise on.
Yes.
That you refuse to compromise.
Yes.
Now, everybody on that campus knows my classroom. Why? Because I got a sign on my door that reads, you don't want to work hard, you don't belong here, and if you don't want to leave, under no circumstance, walk to my door. Wow. And what is one of my values? I'm telling the world, this is my value. My value is excellence.
Yes. Yes, sir.
If that's not one of your values, there are 350 other professors at this school. Do yourself a favor, take their class.
Okay.
It's about excellence.
Yes, yes, excellence.
I love showing my students that film clip from the movie Lincoln.
Okay.
And Lincoln is in his office with members of his cabinet.
Yes.
And they are telling him that they are 3 votes short from passing the amendment of, abolition, of abolishing slavery. And Lincoln, this is the first time that he sees that members of his own cabinet are anti-slavery, but they're not abolitionists. See, Lincoln was an abolitionist.
Yes.
There's a big difference between being an abolitionist and being anti-slavery. So he goes in there and says, hey, what do you think about slavery? If you're anti-slavery, what do you think about slavery? Man, slavery's bad. I don't know what we're getting them people's mind, man. We should do something about that. But if you're an abolitionist, Brother Haki, what do you think about slavery? Damn it, not on my watch. Not in my house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It can happen anywhere, but damn it, it's not happening here. Big difference.
Right.
And that's what Lincoln said. Right. And they told him, well, Mr. President, how are we going to get those 3 votes? And what what did he say? I don't care how you get it. He said, I am the goddamn president, and you're going to give me those 3 votes. So he used those terms to understand. You got to see that film clip.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow.
So he said, you're the goddamn president. You're going to give me those 3 votes.
Yes. Yes.
And what is the difference between the two, Brother Haki? Which is another one of the values, conviction. Conviction.
Yes. Yes.
Don't water down your values. In other words, never ever go horizontal. Don't try to go wide and water down and compromise to bring people under your tent. Don't that.
Yes.
You don't go horizontal, Brother Haki.
Right.
Looking for a partner. You go vertical.
Yes. All right.
You go vertical. In other words, this is what I stand for. These are my values, and if we're not aligned right here, don't do something else.
All right.
And see, that's what Martin Luther King. I started off with King, and I started off with Steve Jobs. What do they have in common? Martin Luther King got 250,000 people to come to Washington, D.C. On August 28, 1963, on a sweltering summer day. And they came, and 1/4 of them were white. And they didn't come to Washington, D.C. because King wanted to. They came to D.C. because they wanted to. Steve Jobs got people to stand in line in pouring rain in the middle of the winter outside of an AT&T store so they could be the first one to go in and get an iPhone so the next morning they could go on their job and hold that phone up for all their fellow employees and say, look what I got. Wow. Not because Steve Jobs told them to, because they wanted to. Why? Because of their values.
I see. All right.
Because of their values. In other words, they believed what King and Steve Jobs believed.
Right.
So if you're looking for a business partner, find somebody who believes what you believe.
Indeed.
Which isn't the easiest thing in the world to do.
All
See,
right.
that's the 3rd phase of entrepreneurship. Phase number 3 is team building.
Yes, sir.
And you'll never build a team until you find somebody who believes what you believe.
All right.
Why? Because people believe what they want to believe. They're building their own business. They're building their own enterprise. And that's what you look for in a partner.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, Dr. Kimbro. All right. So we gotta get ready to close on out here. But so, are you in? Where are you? I know you're going to be doing this interview in a couple of days, but are you speaking anywhere? And where can?
I got an interview, and then I'm out in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And then I got one here in Atlanta. Brother Haki, you gotta find a way. This is what I want.
Yes, sir.
I share so much information with my students, but they're MBAs, they're business students, they're seniors, and blah, blah, blah. I got to find a way to get out of the classroom and share it with them.
Right. Okay. Yes, sir.
Find a way, bring me in your town, put it together. We can do the compensation, whatever you want to do. I'm throwing that challenge out there right now. I want it.
All right.
Because I got tired of too much information.
Yes, sir. Yeah, agreed. Well, I appreciate that, and we definitely going to work on that. My queen just said we got it. So yeah.
Thanks for having me. Call me anytime.
And where can people get your books?
Barnes and Noble, Amazon, whatever.
Okay.
Up on my website.
Yes.
www.kimbro.com. At Dr. Kimbro, Twitter, Facebook. I'd love to hear from you.
All right. We thank you. We love you. We appreciate you forever. All right.
All right, my man. You take care. God bless.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in, listening in. Yes, Danye, shout out. Latoya, Celia, thank you, Queen. My cousin, LaRonda, Sir Charles, Brother William, Brother Dika. Let's see, who else we got here? Maisha and Zinga, everybody. Brother Jason, Latanya, Janice, Tiki, my mother, Pam, Sam, Samuel, Pam, Sam, Donye, Marsha, Deuce, Dub Deuce, Lakeisha, Wanda, It's too many people. All right. You get the picture. Everybody was tuning in to hear Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Certainly, we would love to work that in and bring him. Here's his book, Wealth Choice, Think and Grow Rich, as well as What Makes the Great Great. And I've read all of them. Phenomenal books. So thank you all for tuning in. Thanks, Brother Roland. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Made this show happen. All right, y'all. So we out till next week. Sylvia will be holding it down next week. I won't be in the studio, so I gotta handle some business. So I'm out, y'all. Till next week. Peace.